is with great pleasure that I'm able to sit with you today, offer you my voice to your ears, from my heart to your heart, on this subject again today about resilience. I hope in some way, if this is your first time, thank you for considering this. If you're a repeat listener to our respective journeys in resilience, I thank you and re-welcome you into this continuing conversation, this common quality that we all have within us. And it's not ours to keep and hold back. It is to express and share to those who may not have had the opportunity to hear a statement like this or have a conversation like this from you going forward from this new present moment. Hopefully I say this correctly. You saw in the tagline or the message for this meeting today, Veritas Aequitas is our title today. Let me start with the question. Always a question from this guy Ming, right? Always a question. How far will you go? Now, I got that from a maybe 30, 40 years old movie that I'd never seen before, my brother, Paco. And I sat down and watched it. Me for the first time, he's seen it many times. The Boondocks Saints movie. I came that night to realize it as a great and classic movie. Almost like, I'm probably dating myself here, if you are out there a Pulp Fiction avid watcher, that movie Pulp Fiction, Boondock Saints is kind of like that kind of seemingly non sequitur, magical and unlikely seamless stream of impossible events. So I won't give you any spoiler alerts on this one. Please see it with someone who appreciates the storylines and the arcs and the juxtaposed views of the protagonist and the antagonist and some of the cameo appearances in that movie. But on to this show today. And from the movie at the end, which I will connect to the overall 820 vision and the overall 820 question and truth and about your truth today. Your awareness and willingness to speak it forward with courage, with humility, with conviction, with the wide and deep and personal perspective of the life and living you have at your disposal each day. And yes, in each moment. And also with the clear awareness of the death you must invite, acknowledge, and accept with each moment and day you are graced with, like right now. And are you willing to stand and speak your truth, regardless of who or how many support your statement? And regardless of how many reject or resist or flat out hate your existence, to say what comes from your heart and as your daily delivered message and purpose. As the great rock band U2 said in one of their classic tunes, pride in the name of love. Pride in the name of love. That song from U2 was also about Dr. King. So if you haven't heard that tune from U2, in that song, Pride in the Name of Love, one line that keeps ringing in my head, quote, "They took your life, but they could not take your pride," unquote. That was like a lamentation about the loss of a light in this world, the loss of a star in this world, removed by an active darkness in this world. But the resilient men and women that I know of or have met, and the vast majority of you out there who I may never meet, this question is still for you and I. How far will you go to stand and speak on the truth from your heart and essence? With the possibility, with a very real possibility of direct threat and attack and murder of your truth. Like recently, Mr. Charlie Kirk. Not a political or religious or a zealousy issue here. Let me put a pause there and let's talk about this Veritas Aequitas term. That is a Latin phrase meaning truth and justice, or truth and equality. The phrase represents a commitment to personal honor, fairness, and upholding truth and justice in actions. It was famously used by the McManus brothers in that film, The Boondock Saints, where the words are tattooed on their hands as a motto. I just appreciate what I could discern from someone committed to presenting his research, his observations, his opinions, his debate hypothesis, and facts to support his argument in a reasoned and measured way to open up new avenues for conversation and communication across political, religious, professional, and personal party lines. So I always ask the main question about what I'm presuming as our shared resilience. What drives you? But now, I also ask of you, how far will you take what drives you? From the Boondock Saints closing lines in that movie, they said this, or the father of those McManus brothers, he said this, maybe that's not the proper question. Maybe the question should be, and for you to ask yourself, do you possess the constitution, the depth of faith to go as far as is needed? Think about that. That's just powerful. Yes, I get it. It's a movie. It's fictional. But like I said earlier, the story arc, the impossible situations, the encounters, the conversations, the conflicts. But then at the end of the movie, he asks this question of these two brothers. Not how far will this go? Do you possess the constitution? Do you possess the depth of faith to go as far as is needed? I say you do, but you have to answer that first yourself and only after you have started to perfect the work you were sent here to do. To complete and stay in the process of completing the process of the self-discovery and self-delivery of the message and purpose. That's also a good measure in each day, in each moment, about your resilience. Just one more thing about how far will you go with this thing called resilience. This came up also in a short research on this topic for me. Another gentleman who has a YouTube channel, Mr. Shahid Bolson, he says this: enemies are disturbed by each other's presence, not by their absence. And then from Mr. Ryan Holiday, will you refuse or quietly go along? Cicero chose to quietly go along. Cato refused. Both were powerless to stop what was already in motion. Caesar was too strong. The Republic had already fallen. But Cato's resistance, even at the cost of his own life, made a lasting statement, or was a declaration about freedom and principle, so powerful that it inspired the founding fathers of the United States some 1,700 years ago, later, to build a new nation on those same ideals. A Stoic doesn't always win, but they never go quietly along. They don't default to convenience or comfort, whether it's standing against corruption in the workplace or resisting injustices in society. A Stoic speaks out. They act with courage and conviction, not just for themselves, but for the principles they believe in and for the generations who come after them. Unquote. Just observe that reference for when you choose to answer the call and question. The question of courage over vanity, the question of certainty over doubt, about your commitment to the directions, the intention of your known journey. How far will you take this? Stay present, stay current, stay truthful from your heart. And remember, no matter where you are in this world, it is always 820.